Happening today, King Charles III will address Congress today on Capitol Hill. He'll become the first British monarch to address Congress since 1991 when Queen Elizabeth II spoke to Congress. And this morning, the royals arrived to the White House for the arrival ceremony for King Charles. News Nation correspondent Trevor Shirley has the details from Washington.
We're expecting the King's speech today to focus on things like shared history, alliances, and democracy, and keeping that relationship between the U.S. and U.K. steady when the politics aren't always that way. King Charles III and Queen Camilla arriving at the White House today, being greeted by President Trump. This visit comes as President Trump has repeatedly bashed U.K. Prime Minister Keir Starmer over his reluctance to help the U.S. war effort in Iran. The king will likely later today highlight the importance of the bond these two countries have. Congressional leaders say the address to Congress is meant to celebrate the so-called special relationship between the U.S. and the U.K. Later tonight, the king and queen will attend a state dinner here at the White House before they then travel to New York City for a stop at the 9/11 memorial tomorrow. And then it's on to Virginia Thursday for events tied to conservation work. King Charles's four-day visit this week comes as Washington gears up to mark 250 years since American independence from Great Britain. The King's Day today began with an Oval Office meeting with President Trump. Security has certainly been stepped up since the shooting on Saturday night at the Washington Hilton. President Trump says the king will feel safe during his visit, but security in Washington is no doubt under a microscope after Saturday's attack. The weekend shooting sparking a last-minute review of the four-day visit. The Buckingham Palace said the king and queen will continue their visit and events as planned. And it is likely that despite this visit going forward, some of the events were altered slightly because of security concerns. Reporting at the White House, I'm Trevor Shirley for News Nation.
All right. Thank you, Trevor. And Mark, we have new details.
Yeah, prosecutors upgrading the alleged White House correspondent dinner's shooter's charges to attempted assassination of President Trump, something that prosecutors say that they're classifying as a federal crime of terrorism, 31-year-old Cole Allen facing life in prison if convicted on that charge. U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro saying that his motives in a manifesto were crystal clear. Pirro says that he traveled from Los Angeles to Chicago to D.C. last week, booking a room at the Washington Hilton for 3 nights, several weeks in advance. Take a listen.
Make no mistake, he says, I am targeting the administration officials. They are my targets, and I'm prioritizing from the top down, the highest ranking from the lowest. And I will not hesitate to get involved in any kind of encounter with anyone who blocks me from the president.
And White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said that officials at the White House met on presidential safety this week, and the government asking that he be held pending trial. He'll spend at least the next 3 days behind bars. Allen has a bond hearing set for this Thursday.
And more than 2,000 journalists, elected officials, and more were in attendance on Saturday night. Many still shaken up, as you can see from that video from the correspondent, the Hill correspondent, Judy Kurtz. She took that video when she was in the room there, and it shows moments after those shots were fired. She and others taking cover under tables. Very scary, unsure what was going on. She says the long-standing event has had its security flaws, and while you need a ticket to get into the ballroom, there are other events happening at the hotel, and of course, guests staying there too. And so that raises the question of whether or not that this should have been declared a national special security event, given the fact that the president and cabinet members were in attendance, but others say security worked exactly as it should have. Take a listen.
I don't feel unsafe living next to this hotel whatsoever. I think that security actually worked. They were able to stop this person from going into the ballroom, and I think that that's proof that something really worked.
Yeah, I mean, you heard it there, and you saw the video of how fast how fast this guy, ran through that security checkpoint there. You're seeing it on your screen. And the swift action, everything just happened really fast. It unfolded really fast. But it seemed like it seemed like they were not under control when you look at it from this vantage point, right? But they did. Looking back, you can see everything is under control, and they got him. So
Yeah, and obviously, what happened was upsetting, unsettling for sure. The bottom line is that the security efforts worked. There's going to be talk moving forward about, the venue, the Hilton. Like you said, Shanika, there are a lot of other events going on at the same time.
Yeah.
And so it's not closed off because of this specific event. Maybe that's something they're going to reconsider moving forward, assuming they continue to have the White House Correspondents' Dinner at that location. Remember, President Trump said even on Saturday, the night of the event, that he was going to try and have this held within the next 30 days.
Yeah.
You listen to a lot of opinions, and the bottom line is that the suspect was not going to get close to the ballroom. But some say that maybe if they would have had that checkpoint where he came in outside, that he never would have made it into the building. But at the end of the day, he just got a few feet past the checkpoint, and there was no way in the world that he was going to get close to the ballroom or even inside the ballroom because of the security measures that were even in place inside of the hotel. But again, there's nothing wrong with taking a look at safety measures and trying to improve them to maybe deter something like this from happening again. In other news, let's go to Maryland. A new program is coming to Greenbelt to help protect people who may be at risk of wandering off or going missing. The Greenbelt Police Department calling the program Greenbelt Guardian Program. And police helped create this program. When a family signs up for it, police officers are able to start their search much quicker. The Guardian Program also helps find people who have dementia or other mental health conditions who may be at risk of wandering off or going missing. Police say that the quicker that they can start their search, the better odds that they are of finding the missing person and reuniting them with their family and friends. The program also has already seen families start to sign up since it launched Friday, and they're hoping that the momentum grows. And if you want to sign up, or if you know someone who does, there's a link on our website at dcnewsnow.com.
Yeah, I love to hear it. And also happening today, the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia. They'll hold a hearing on Rep. Joyce Beatty, and that is the request to reverse the unlawful attempt to rename the Kennedy Center for Donald Trump and block the Trump administration. Their, what she says, unlawful closures and near demolition of the Kennedy Center, which President Trump announced earlier this year. So we'll wait and see what happens there.